Hi guys. Here's a video if you wanted a walkthrough of exactly how you would actually log in if the directions weren't making sense to you. So to get to your science book, you're going to go into Clever and you're going to click this little guy that says science book and it looks like a brain. And then at the top, you're going to have to go through, and the first time you go in, you're going to have to change all of this because it needs filled in, just so it says Ohio, Fairborn City School District, and Fairborn Intermediate School. Once you do that, make sure you click Remember My School, and you'll never have to do it again. Then when you go down here, you're going to do your username. Now, your username for your science book is a little different than the one that you usually use. It's just your first and last name with no spaces, no capital letters. So for example, I'm going to use Cadence. So that's exactly how he would do it. And then your password is FCS. And then whatever your lunch code is, so like you're right, that will be the same as always, your password. And then you're going to log in. Then it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. When you get in here, you're going to click My Library. And depending on the assignment, you would click one of these two icons. Now, if you just want your regular old book so that you can look back and get information, that's going to be here. And it just looks like a regular old book, and it's called the electronic edition, and you'd click in there. If I give you an assignment, sometimes it'll be in here, and that will have the play button on it. But again, if you just want your regular book, it goes in here. So let's click in there. Let's make it big so that you can see a little bit better. Now, when you log in, it looks just like your regular booklet. If you notice, there's no place for me to look for the pages, but what they've hidden up here is if you click up into, it looks at first like there's nothing up here, but then if you click up into the black bar, it says go to page. If you just click that, it'll take you to whatever page you want. So for example, the assignment we had the other day was reading this page. It was in 222. So if you want it to look like you have both pages of your book open, you can come over here to page view, click that. And then if you click this little button, it'll say double page. Now it looks like both pages of your book. So also, since we're in here, I'm going to explain a little bit because there was some confusion on the energy pyramid and how much energy gets passed on between each level. So I'll just kind of go in here. I know this was hard to read in your notes because it was kind of grainy. So that's another good reason to have access to your online book because it won't be as grainy. I filled in these numbers for you in your notes. They're obviously not filled in your books because I just copied and pasted it, but I filled them in up here because this is not something to stress out about. The main thing to remember about an energy pyramid is this. I'll read this up here. At each level of an energy pyramid, 90% of the energy received from the lower level is used for life processes. Only 10% is available to be passed upward. All that means is that at each level, so at let's start at this level, the grass, it's the producer level. All the energy that grass takes in from the sun, it's going to use 90% of that energy just to keep itself alive. It's only going to pass on 10% to the grasshoppers that eat it. So then when the grasshoppers have that 10%, it's going to use 90% of that 10%, which sounds like a lot of numbers, but don't stress out about that. But just know that it'll use 90% of that energy to keep themselves alive and then only pass on 10% to the snake and so on. So the animals that get the least amount of original energy from the sun are these higher ones up here, and that's why they're in such a small section. The bigger sections are the ones that use or get the most original energy from the sun, and then they use 90% of that to keep themselves alive. Okay. So anyways, that was a little mini lesson on the energy pyramid, but that's how you access your book. If you want to turn pages, you click right here and it'll take you to the next page. Okay. And so on. So these are all things that you can look at. If you want to do a review, like a real review, you can go ahead and do that. It is on page 233 in your booklet. If you really feel like after you do your game review tomorrow, if you're like, man, I really don't get this, I'm having a hard time, then if I were you, I would go through and try to answer as many questions I can in this review. And it's several pages long, guys, but these questions are very similar, almost identical to the way questions will be set up in your test on next Wednesday. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys out, and I will see you later on. Have a great day.